Emotional reunions at Heathrow are par for the course, especially at this time of year. But for the returning British members of the South Pole Allied Challenge, there were very special scenes as the expedition members made their way through the concourse. Their flight from Cape Town arriving early in anticipation of the deteriorating weather here in the UK. Since December the 1st, 3 teams from the UK, Team Glenfiddich, the USA's Team Noom Coach and the Commonwealth Team Soldier On have trekked across the wastes of the Antarctic. The British team had Prince Harry in their ranks, who at one stage turned royal correspondent to report on their progress very close to the finish.
We're going to South Pole on Friday the 13th. Unlucky for some, lucky for us.
All of the explorers have suffered life-changing injuries, including RAF Sergeant Duncan Slater, who became the first double amputee to make it to the South Pole. An extraordinary achievement, but one he was anxious to play down.
That's great, you know, but I wouldn't dare take away from what the rest of the guys have done. You know, you had a blind man get to the pole, you had amputees, you had people with broken backs and all the rest of it. People overcame loads of stuff to get there, and you know, I'm like a tiny part of that.
The whole thing changed, didn't it, from a race to a collective achievement in the end. Was that a disappointment at the time? Yeah,
it was, yeah. You know, you spend a year training for a race and then 5 days in, you get told it's not a race anymore. That's a big disappointment. Felt quite bad because we're supposed to go 334 kilometres and we didn't do that. We did slightly less. So it's a bit disappointing, but they had to go with the unit. You know, they had to go with the group. Some of the guys there were really struggling. Some had frostbite and all the rest of it. So I can see why they did it.
Expedition leader Ed Parker said it was a decision they had to make.
After about the 5th day, we saw that the guys were pushing themselves probably a little too hard in conditions which were unexpectedly difficult, both from a terrain perspective and a cold perspective. And we had 1 or 2 injuries that I felt and my medical team felt weren't sustainable. So we decided to suspend the race. It was, I think, a sensible thing to do. Safety is paramount for us on these expeditions. We brought everyone back together, and actually then from there on in, skiing with one another, camping collectively, brought a really nice atmosphere to it, and I think I don't think we've lost anything by suspending the race.
Despite the decision, which changed the nature of the challenge, other team members say it actually enhanced the event.
We all got on very quickly because I think of our shared experiences, and then you continue to train together over the coming months, and actually the friendships that have been formed are so much more important. And I think really the race element was more interesting for everybody else outside of our circle. And when actually the decision was made that primarily for safety reasons to remove that, I think, to be honest, amongst the majority, it was a bit of a sense of relief in that that element was taken out and we could just enjoy it.
Given the amount of coverage this event has received, it's perhaps easy to underplay the scale of the achievements that these people have of reaching the South Pole, given the extent of their injuries. But make no mistake, the families who are here today know exactly and have lived through every moment since they've been away.
It's such a huge achievement, and I know how much Ibby's been training and how much effort and work he's put in, and I think for them to reach it, it was just kind of a massive relief and just huge proudness, I think, from all families, friends and loved ones at home.
After having been obviously skiing day in, day out for nearly 3 weeks, where you are actually just skiing alone in a single file, to come back to obviously all of this amazing return, yeah, it's absolutely fabulous.
Zara, can I ask you what it's like to have Daddy home for Christmas?
Nice.
Although the team is now heading to all corners of the country to celebrate Christmas and their safe return with their friends and families, there are already further projects on the horizon for walking with the wounded. They're being kept closely guarded secrets at the moment, but after conquering both the North and South Poles, the next challenge is bound to stir the blood. Right now, they're just delighted to be home. Jon Knighton, Forces News, Heathrow.